With over 40 years of combined experience, SignSource is the premier sign supplier for Central Alabama. From illuminated and monument signs for your business, to banners, car wraps, or political yard signs for the individual, SignSource can do it all. We specialize in designing sign concepts that get results. Contact us today at 256-825-0197 or on the web at signsourcenow.com. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Welcome back to Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. This segment brought to you by Russell Do-It Center, Kirby Scales here in Alexander City. Go out and check out Russell Do-It Center. His whole staff will make sure you're taken care of for all your home improvement needs, anything lawn and garden, equipment, anything that you need to improve your property or your home, or if you're building a new home, give Russell Do-It Center a call today, because they will take care of everything that you need regarding your project. Now we're fortunate enough to have on the phone with us, joining us from Russell Lands, Robert Gunn. Robert, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Brett. I certainly do appreciate you guys letting me come on and talk a little bit about an event that's going to be happening at Russell Crossroads in just a few days. That's exactly right. Russell Crossroads, first of all, Robert, let's talk about that. Okay. We're so blessed in this area to have a facility and an area where is just unique to this area, and to have two great restaurants in Catherine's Market and an open-air market the way it is down there, that you can go buy really, really quality food. And then, of course, Spring House, which is a white tablecloth restaurant that is, you don't have to go to Atlanta or Birmingham or anywhere else to go to a five-star restaurant. We're lucky enough to have one right here. That's right, Brett. We're really fortunate that people took time to do those both of those businesses down at Russell Crossroads right to start with, and you're guaranteed a pretty darn good meal at either one of those places. So appreciate the plug there. And the neat thing about we are talking about the Russell Forest Run, and the neat thing about the Russell Forest Run is that our starting line is right in front of Catherine's Market, and you get to go towards Spring House, and the race finishes just down the hill from Spring House. And the stables at Russell Crossroads is where we host our post-race party. And, you know, it's an 8,000 square foot building with horse stalls downstairs and a great area upstairs for gatherings like the one that we're going to have following the Russell Forest Run. Well, Robert, before we get into the details about the run and how people can become part of it and all, that whole area down there is just beautiful. And, you know, I know we all hope and pray that the weather's very nice. We've been very fortunate here to have a mild winter so far. Of course, this past weekend was pretty brutal, but that whole area, that, you know, I'm envisioning, because I've been down there several times, leaving Catherine's Market, heading back to Spring House, just the view as you head and overlook. It's one of the higher points around, and you can kind of see out over the lake. And not only is it a nice track, it's a very scenic track to be able to run. Well, it really is. You know, we're very fortunate down here, Brett, that there's 25,000 acres of forest. And we are going to be, the race itself runs through just a very small portion of a lot of native timbers, and, you know, a lot of the scenery is untouched and has been that way since before the lake was even built. So you get to see some really big timber and just some rolling hills. And, you know, when they built the roads through the Russell Forest, they were very careful not to disrupt a lot of the original landscape and grade of the property. So if there's a hill, it wasn't graded down for this run, I assure you. So, you know, a lot of people will come in and that run on the roads a lot and run on flat surface a lot, and they're real impressed with the beauty and the scenery. And actually, the run itself is a little bit of challenge for those who come in. And, you know, we've had people, we had a couple here last year from France, and it just so happened they were runners and they had heard about our race and they were in the States at the time. But we have people from all over the United States that come in just to run this event with us. You know, we're blessed that there's Maxwell Air Force Base in Montgomery, and there are a lot of people who come in to Maxwell from all over. and they'll make it one of their destination runs too. It's a short trip up from Montgomery, so a group of them will come up and run with us. But we've got people registered in this race this year from North Carolina and Georgia and Alabama. So it's not just those that live in the Alex City area, and we are very fortunate to have a number of runners in Alex City that do run this race. And before we get too far into it, Brett, I do want to remind everybody that's watching tonight that this race does benefit the Alexander City Schools Education Foundation. And we've given, over the course of the past 2 years, somewhere close to $10,000 to the Education Foundation. And we're really glad that we're able to put that back in. We've got some good sponsors for this event. And a lot of people just kind of pitch in and volunteer, and knowing that it's for a good cause like the Education Foundation. So we're excited to be a part of that, and just welcome all the registrations that we can get. We're on track to have about the same number of runners that we had last year, maybe a few more. Next week we'll really people will check the weather and see how it's going to be. You mentioned that earlier, how it's going to be next Saturday. The first year we did this, we all just about froze to death. Last year was shirt-sleeve weather, so I really don't know what to expect for this year's event. But it'll be a good run. It'll be a good time. We have a Civil War-style cannon that we use to start both of our 10K and our 5K races with. And then we've got the post-race party after everybody comes in. It'll start after the 10K runners start coming in with the band and grits, our famous grits bar, and we added beer last year, and that's the more I get involved in the running scene, I understand that that's a quick way to restore some carbohydrates and proteins and all the things that runners look for after a race. So we added that last year. As just another part of what we're doing. We've got a band from the high school. It's not the high school band, but a group of youngsters who play, guitars and drums, and they're going to come down and play for us this year as well. So we're really looking forward to this not only being a run, but a big event for those who do come in and run. And, we want people that come in from out of town and those who are from the area to have a good time when they get down here, regardless of the weather.
Robert, that's a lot of great information there. And again, folks, we're talking to Robert Gunn from Russell Lands, talking about the Russell Forest Run. And you hit on something. This is, these runners, they'll travel from all over the place to get into a good run. And it's really a unique fraternity and sorority for both men and women that run. And this is just in, like you said earlier, the third year coming up this year. So we've been blessed to have such a successful go of it here early in the early stages of getting established. You mentioned that the first race will start at 7:45, the 10K, and then 1 hour after that at 8:45, the second race will start, and that is a 5K, a shorter trek. But you can go online to russellforestrun.com. Is that right, Robert, to register?
That's correct, Brett. You can go to russellforestrun.com, and there's just a wealth of information on the website that gives you the course. It tells you how to get to Russell Crossroads if you've never been there. And let me just go on record as saying right now that if you're not from the Alex City area and don't know where Russell Crossroads is, do not put it in your GPS. You will end up Pearson Chapel Road, I promise you.
Yeah, sometimes, that is the weirdest. I was trying to direct a lady from Huntsville to Alexander City, Robert, to get to the college last week that was coming down to host a Scholars Bowl competition, and she typed in Alexander City, and, it's pretty much a straight shot when you get past Birmingham down 280, and she called me and said, do I need to get off on exit 9 in Goodwater to get to the college? I said, absolutely not. I don't know what. And so the GPS was taking her through a scenic route through Goodwater to get to Central Alabama Community College. So sometimes, I know a lot of times the GPS really is our friend, but sometimes it'll play with us a little bit.
Yeah, and you're right. It is a good friend, and I use mine quite often, especially when I'm out of town. But sometimes I'll use my what little common sense I have to kind of figure out maybe a better way, or you can still buy the old paper atlases, and they come in handy as well. But we do try to get the information out to those that have coming in, because I don't want anybody ending up 20 miles away trying to find us. So, and we do communicate with our runners through email, which is really a neat way to send the information out one time instead of 300 times. So, but if anybody needs answers to questions, if you have questions about the Russell Forest Run, my phone number is on the website. My email address is on the website, and we also are doing a lot with our Facebook page. A lot of interaction there with some quotes of the day and some runners tips and so forth. So like us on Facebook and take a look at the website. You can actually register for the run on the website by either printing off a form, and we're cutting off the mail-in registrations the latter part of this week, Brett, just because we want to get all those in, and they do have to be manually entered, or through active.com. Their link is on our website, and you can go there and register for either the 10K or the 5K race through Active, and you'll automatically be added to the list there. So a couple of ways to register. We just encourage everybody to get out and do that. We've got a good group of volunteers, and again, the Alex City Board of Education has really jumped on board with us, and are supplying a lot of the volunteers and a lot of the hands-on help that it takes to pull off an event like this.
Well, a great run for a great cause to support public schools, the Alex City school system, Robert. Again, the Russell Forest Run. Our very own Luke Robinson will be running in that, so we'll be covering that. And also, I want to encourage everybody, Robert, we've got a ton of friends on Facebook ourselves, so we'll be putting a link on our Facebook, and we'll be tweeting that out there on our Twitter account to get it out there. So we're fast approaching the deadline here, folks. So if you want to get out and participate in a great run and, again, supporting the Alex City school system, register for this race. RussellForestRun.com. Robert Gunn, again, from Russell Lands, joining us tonight. Robert, we really appreciate you joining us, and we look forward to a really fun event next weekend.
Thanks, Brett. We certainly do appreciate the work that y'all do at Sportz Blitz, and thanks for having me on tonight to talk about an event that we think is really, really worthwhile and for a wonderful cause.
Absolutely, Robert. Thanks so much for being part of the program. Have a good Valentine's Day.
You too. Thanks a bunch. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Robert. That's Robert Gunn from Russell Lands, and again, promoting the Russell Forest Run. And you can go to RussellForestRun.com, or you can follow us on our Facebook or our Twitter page, and we'll get you the information that way if you're interested in participating.